If someone is speaking, I can't hear him.
I don't think anybody is talking, Sandy.
Oh, okay. Because on my thing, it came up Greg was talking. Hello, David. I think is that you?
Yes, Sandy, it's David. How are you?
Okay. I'm hanging in there. I hope you're doing the same.
I am. Thank you.
Great. You're welcome. All right. I'll mute myself.
Me too.
I can't hear anything. Is anyone talking? Yeah, I think they haven't fully started it.
Thank you.
Can somebody call them or something? This is very inappropriate.
You know what? I'll try. I'll give Jeremy a call.
Jeremy knows we're here. He came on a few minutes ago.
Yeah, but if everyone is muted and my information said
Hey, everybody. Yeah,
that they're
so you can't hear
recording.
us, right?
If they're recording, then they're recording nothing.
We can't hear you, Jeremy.
We can hear you. We
Yeah, I know. We're trying to work it out right now. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm unmuted. So, Bob, can you start talking? And hold on.
Talk, okay. Mayor Adams came to the Bronx on Monday.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Wow, the feed is terrible. What's going on?
Please, one mic. Use one mic. Okay, we can all talk at the same. Go ahead.
Are we ready to talk? No, it's still an echo.
Turn it off.
All right, you want me to keep talking? The New York Giants will be playing next season. They lost 15 minutes. We have no speakers back here. Okay, let's see. San Francisco is playing. Can everybody hear me? Do you want to hear the joke about the parrot and the? No? Okay, we'll pass on the parrot joke. Everything is okay now? What do you want me to continue? Start again, okay. This past Saturday, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez held a town hall meeting in Co-op City where she described a Queens hospital where she had a woman's health, birthing, and wellness center placed that. After the town hall meeting, I was able to ask the Congresswoman if she would do the same here in the Bronx for her district, I should say, in Building 2 in Jacoby Hospital, which is also in her district. Her response is I've already been in contact with her office to get the ball rolling. Also here in the Bronx on Jerome Avenue, I was able to ask him if he.
This is horrible.
Mayor Adams answered that, yes, he would support Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez's idea. In the Bronx, and he even is having a March summit, which he said he was going to invite the Congresswoman on the matter, which is also included, by the way, in today's State of the City speech, saying that he wants to decrease black maternal natal mortality, the black maternal mortality rate, which while also improving the birthing experience for all New Yorkers. So I hope the board will join with me and the Congresswoman and Mayor in this, and I will keep the board updated as this continues. Thank you.
So, hold on. So, there's an echoing, right? So do we need to do anything yet, right,
It's
technologically?
still echoing.
There was.
And you are paying good money for this?
David, anybody in the meeting? How's it sound now,
It's
Sandy?
still, it's echoing.
Terrible.
It's awful. It's awful,
It's really bad.
really. And they're paying good money for this.
They don't hear me.
Still an echo.
Did they hear the speaker? Did they hear Robert?
Robert, can we?
You dance, Robert?
Now you get the parrot joke.
He sounds fine.
That's fine? Okay, so this one's working. Okay, so then they heard me. Okay. Any questions by anybody, by the way? No?
You're still echoing.
Okay, thank you.
He's still echoing.
Okay, so we'll call the next gallery session speaker. Diana Finch?
Hi, everyone. Two things. First, on votes during hybrid meetings like this for transparency purposes, I wonder if the board could, one, confirm that all board members, including, have heard the motion
You're
and
breaking
discussion
up.
clearly. And two,
breaking up.
consider a roll call vote, because it's not easy to know if a board member who's online has voiced a vote in the majority or just stayed silent. On the Facebook motion, after administrating the Bronx Park East Community Association Facebook group and page, I think the details of exactly how to remove the Bronx CB11 Facebook group as an official arm of the board need to be thought through carefully. As we head into a year with a hotly contested local election, I'm concerned about how an unofficial community Facebook group can be run in a not division among residents or appeal to just a subset of the community. At minimum, the name needs to be changed. It can no longer be Bronx Community Board 11. The usual solution is to call it a Friends of group, but there already is a separate Friends of CB11 group. The cover photo can't be a photo of the office, which gives the impression the group is run by the community board. On a Facebook page, only the administrators of the page can post. So admins have a great deal of control, which is appropriate for a government entity. Facebook groups are very different from pages and have a range of settings. A group could be private or public. Group admins can set rules for content and require potential members to answer qualifying questions, such as, do you accept the rules?
Hello?
Members can post, though admins and moderators can remove posts, hide comments, and put individuals on post approval for 30 days at a time. If a community group member has blocked you, you won't be able to see their posts or comments, but others will. Moderating an active group that discusses subjects that Jill's can seem like a full-time job at times. And I hope that we're all up to it, even for an unofficial group. Thank you.
Ay, ¿cómo está? Hay una reunión que está pasando aquí, ¿no? Ok, yo soy parte de la...
All right. I don't know if everybody can hear me. That's online at least. Greg Kisloff, I know he was in. I don't know if he's still there.
Yes, sir.
Greg?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Is online?
Ay, Dios mío. Eso me ha hecho.
Just 1 second.
He's not coming in clearly.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
No.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gracias a usted.
First of all, I was very grateful to be able to participate in the
This is-
meeting a couple of nights ago of the Community Development and Budget Priorities Committee. I spoke that night about the imminent work on our trestles, particularly those located in the Pelham Parkway South area. And I basically felt that it was incumbent upon the community board and our community members to try and communicate with the MTA and New York City Transit to find out what their plans are for these facilities and also to provide community input there too. So that's what I'm asking for again this evening.
Okay. Why there's echo. Unless there's any questions. If you're online, you raise your hand. See, some people are unmuted that are online. Please stay muted unless you're talking or you need to talk. All right, so do we have Anthony Orphis from the New York State Department of Sanitation in the meeting?
Yes, you did. Yes, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, excellent. All right. I'm just calling just in this meeting to just give you guys an update on the change in set out times that's going to be happening. It's starting April 1st, I believe. Yes, April 1st. We're going to be the set out times will be a bit later. So for residential, it's going to be 2 options after 6 p.m. if it's in a container of 55 gallons or less with a secure lid, or after 8 p.m. if you're putting the bags out directly on the curb. So then for businesses, same thing, 2 options, 1 hour before closing in a container of 55 gallons or less with a secure lid, or after 8 p.m. if putting the bags directly on the curb. I mean, this is being done obviously to just keep the garbage off the streets, keep it out there for less time. That's pretty much it. Any questions, you can direct them to me. I'll put my contact info in the chat, and you could reach out to me with any sanitation questions or issues.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, unless there's any questions. I don't believe Tanya's in the meeting. I'm not sure. Is Tanya? Oh, okay, great. So do you mind coming up to the microphone, Tanya, please? So we're gonna warn you. 30-second warning. Fix that mic.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. This is my first time at this meeting. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for giving me the floor. Not used to So I'm a constituent of this community board, and I'm here because I wanted to announce 2 events that my organization that I'm affiliated with is having. We're having the events in another community board. However, these events and all of our events are open to all of the Bronx community boards. And we are trying to get the word out about the public service events that we do so that we can have as many attendees as possible. The first event that's coming up actually this Sunday is in recognition of Human Trafficking Month. And those of you that may not know, I'll briefly say that human trafficking is something that's considered the abuse or exploitation of many vulnerable populations. Through sex can be human trafficking through forcing people to solicit other goods or services. So specifically, I'm part of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We are a sorority that's been in existence locally, nationally, and internationally for over 100 years. We historically have included members who were of African-American descent. However, we are open to all races. So our event, which I have flyers for, will be on Sunday, January 26th. You have to register, 29th, I'm sorry. You have to register online. I have a few flyers with the Eventbrite link. It's also on our website, and we're doing it in conjunction with another historical fraternity called Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And the other event, lastly, is our annual event, and that'll be February 5th. That's it. So if someone could just tell me where I put the flyers, I'll do that. That's it. Thank you.
Jeremy.
The name of the group is Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated in conjunction with Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Any other questions? We were hoping.
Microphone.
We were hoping you could email us the link to the board office, and that way we can post it on the Facebook page.
I absolutely will.
Bring the microphone closer to you. They can't hear.
No, it's.
What she asked is whether I can email the flyer and the link to the community board email, and I will do that. Thank you.
Jeremy, I also had my hand raised.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yes, not only put it on your
Sandy.
Facebook page, but
Yes, Sandy?
I think
Go
you
ahead.
should, once the flyer comes in, you should send it via email to all of the board members. Some of us may not do Facebook or YouTube and stuff like that.
So, can you say one more time again?
I said that once the young lady emails you the flyer, etc., yes, put it on your Facebook page, but you should also email that flyer to members of the board.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any echo?
Yes, sometimes.
No, okay. All right, let's move on. Anthony? Or, okay, go ahead, Anthony.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Community Board 11, for hearing me today. I would like to hopefully give you guys a round of applause today because you guys are doing an excellent job in my neighborhood. So if we all give each other a round of applause, that'd be great. I'll be honest, you're doing a great job. I've been living in this neighborhood since 1987. I recently acquired my house in 2011 from my parents, which I grew up in on the 2500 block of Barnes. I recently found out that I have a new neighbor might be coming in called Slate Management, who might be taking over the Fine Fare supermarket and building some gargantuan building that I'm going to look at every single day when I walk out my house. Like it's the Death Star, you know, I'm like, what is this thing right now? A little bit of a joke. So, you know, I spoke to a whole bunch of my neighbors who live there. And, you know, we're pretty much very unhappy because nobody has ever came to us and say, hey, what do you guys want in this neighborhood? How can your neighborhood improve? And Community Board 11 has been doing such a great job until this point. And I don't understand what's going on between the Fine Fare restaurant, Slate, and Marjorie's office, and all these other elected officials' offices. But somebody's doing something that's underneath and think they're going to roll over our eyes. We as a community do not want this. And you're actually breaking up all the families who are of color who have purchased those homes, and they're very, very upset because now their American dream is almost gone. So I'm voicing my opinion to say, no, please reconsider this idea. And I'm going to give you a great location for it. Go right down to Gun Hill Road, to that old Dow Center. It's a ginormous piece of property. You have the 6th train right there, bus service. You have the Aldi supermarket, and that's a wonderful place for the thing. And it doesn't have to overcrowd our already crowded neighborhood. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sandy, you have something again?
No, I just thanked him, and that's a great location. And what about also the area where the old diner was that lays vacant?
Good point, Sandra. Good point.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, we have Armando Ramos. I believe he's online.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As the board have already violated mine and other members of the public's civil rights of free speech, a free press, and a right to redress one's grievances to the government by illegally blocking us from the official CB11 Facebook page to stop our dissent, I secede my further time to Ms. Roxanne Delgado, as the board has already silenced and censored me. Thank you.
All right.
They couldn't hear you, bud.
Yeah, I mean, there's an echo, but he wanted to cede his time.
Yes, as the board have already violated mine and other members of the public's rights of free speech, a free press, and a right to redress our grievances to the government by illegally blocking us. Yes, thank you so much.
Yep. All right, so go ahead, Roxanne.
Well, he said he was ceding his time to me because he was blocked on the official Facebook page and he felt his rights were violated. And regarding Facebook page, it was very underhanded for the leadership meeting to hold the Facebook motion after the gallery session to prevent any public input. So that's why I have to discuss Facebook group page now. And I did send an email regarding the misappropriation of city property because this page accumulated followers for 10 years as an official page. Now you want to hand over this to certain individuals to run it as an unofficial page? You can't do that. One of the admins for CB11 is also the admin for an unofficial page for CB10, which has a lot of racist posts. If you contact CB10, they have been trying to take that page for years because they get lots of complaints from their residents saying that there's very racist posting on that page and it makes CB10 look very bad. And many people don't realize that it's not an official page. Just last year, one of your admin posted the rally at Orchard Beach against the migrants. And people commented that it was not even CB10, it was very anti-immigrant. And in that rally, you had political campaigning saying, adopt the immigrant. So you actually were encouraging people to go to a rally to hear people say, adopt the immigrant. You know, I mean, this is not right. And this is the main problem with our page that is used as a for mostly right-wing candidates. And if you want to make this page unofficial, just don't have this page anymore, because if you make it unofficial, they won't abide by the New York City anti-discrimination or the social media rules that prevents electioneering and bigoted remarks. So either disable this page or create another unofficial page or get another admin. But if you make this page unofficial, it's going to reflect very bad to this community board and do a big disservice to this community. Thank you so much. Sorry. Thank you.
Good. Okay, Charlene Slater?
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to cede my time to Roxanne.
Again, I say if this group page is turned into someone's hand that has been using it for electioneering and right-wing rhetoric, it's going to do a disservice to this community board and to more divide this community. This community board page should be about community events, no electioneering, no fundraising. I mean, it's just, I feel it very sad that how this community is being underserviced. Now, 2560 Boston Road, the BP had a hearing today, and I was one that put all the flyers over the neighborhood because it seems like, I'm not sure they have deal with Slate property owner, but this Slate property owner actually sued his own lawyer because his lawyer gave him bad advice on how to evict tenants, senior tenants with Section 8. The same Slate property was the one that was investigators indicted him for actually converting Riverson Home, a senior home housing, without proper papers. And he tried to start the election condominium, so Bill de Blasio, Corey Johnson, and Senator Holtman did rallies against him, and he released the property to a different owner. So now it's in the hands of a hospital. The same guy is the one that sold defective condos knowingly to sellers who are now suing him because the condos are defective. Besides the property not being unaffordable, we cannot have this kind of predator in this community because this community is mostly immigrants. English is not their primary language. They're low income. I spoke to them many times. They didn't know how to log into the BP's meeting this morning. I was one that sent BP, this committee board 11, the link to this meeting, because if I didn't do that, it would not have been shared to anybody. I did a lot of outreach on my own time. Unfortunately, the meeting was at 10 a.m., so a lot of people couldn't attend it, but more people know about this project now than it did 2 nights before. Committee board 11 has to make sure protect us from a developer. This is Slate property. Look them up. This is just the last 3 cases this past few years. I'm sure we go through more court cases, we're going to find how notorious they are. They're predators. They have a $4 billion real estate portfolio. Thank you so much.
All right. If there's any questions, we're going to move on to, do we have Leo Bernstein present? Online? Maybe? Maybe not? Okay. Irene Estrada? She present? Grace Morera?
Here.
How y'all doing? Good to see you. I'm here about the 2560 Boston Road debacle. The community does not want that monstrosity in our neighborhood. It does not fit. It's going to displace people of color, low-income people, can't afford it. And my neighbors that I speak to are opposed to this. No one was talked to about it. It just, Allerton gets the crap laid on them every time. I'd like to know who decided that that needed to go there? Who pointed out that particular spot? I know NIDC and AIM is working with the developers, so they're not our friends, which we thought they should be. So basically, we've been stabbed in the back. We cannot have this in our, we don't have the infrastructure. We need schools, we need more police, we need fire, we need ambulance. And I was on the Bronx Borough President presentation today. And the fact that they think there's no foot traffic, there's not enough foot traffic or whatever, what have you, that's a residential area. You're going to displace homeowners, people that have worked their life to attain a home, to be in a peaceful area, and you want to bring in that 10-story monstrosity. It's disgraceful, and I'm urging the board to please vote no on it again and be a little more proactive instead of sitting there. I know the voting, I know you guys are just advisory, but I'm urging you guys to get out there and help us. We don't have a voice on Allerton Avenue, not like you guys do. So we need your help. We don't. And that's why I'm running for city council. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. All right, so we're going to now move over, unless there's questions online, please remember this questions are for board members. We're going to move on to the gallery session, so it's the in-person sign-ins. Roxanne Delgado.
2560, besides slate, the unaffordability. The median income for the 0.25 radius of that project site is actually 44,000. 80% AMI for one studio for income eligibility is going to be over $80,000. For 120% of AMI, it's going to be over $112,000. Obviously, it's not going to serve the community. What's going to happen? This developer in 4th Street in Brooklyn, he changed a mixed-use affordable building into 2 homeless shelters. So it's going to happen either, because no one's going to, I don't like to be rude, but no one's going to come to live in Allerton. No one that makes that kind of money is going to come to live in Allerton. Let's be real. So who's going to be quiet? So who's going to be there? They're going to either turn it to homeless shelters, or they're going to, you know, this developer does not switch. He did the senior house, Riverton House. He bought it as well, letting you know that he's going to lift the restriction, turn it into a condominium. He did it with the condo buyers. He sold them defective condos. Now, what is he really doing behind the scene? Because he's presenting this picture that's not affordable to us, that cannot be used by the community, that won't really bring much people to live here. So what's behind this deal? And plus, he has a history. He's a predator. Property owner has a $4 billion portfolio. He's here to do investment. He's not here to build. He's not a builder. I'm not against people building things. He's an investor, which is quite different. Thank you so much.
Okay. Brian Adams.
Hey, how you doing? Hello? Hello? How you doing? Okay, you heard Grace, you heard Roxanne, about 2560 Boston Road, what can I say? This is, disgrace. I live a few blocks away from where I live, from this, thing. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible for, the Allerton area. And you heard Grace, and you heard, Roxanne, please vote no on this 2560 project. Please vote no. It'll destroy it to residential free daily life. and most everybody else. It's around the supermarket, the Fine Fair store, and I go there practically every week, okay? And I want to know the results from that public hearing. Yes, earlier today, this morning, in the midday period this morning. Okay? Right. And please vote no on this 2560 Boston Road project. It would save us a lot of money. Who needs 10 or 12 and 15-story houses of crime and sex and drugs? Certainly not. Please vote no. Thank you.
Okay, Roy Mandina? All right, look. All right, so Lori, all right, Lori Peterson.
Hi. All right, two things. I just want to know how everything, like with the community board, like these projects, 1900, this Boston Road, everything gets done behind our backs. We find out about this at the, at the end. It's really, not much more to fight. That guy from sanitation still on? I have a question for him.
Yeah, but why don't you, go ahead, ask it.
All right, so I have to throw away 2 TVs. It's nearly impossible to throw out TVs in the Bronx. Anybody else have that problem? Yes. I have to go to Hunts Point. Oh. No, I spoke to Marjorie's office. Are you sanitation or you? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. But New York Sanitation, something has to be done. I have to go to Hunts Point on a Saturday. Or I have to wait till the spring to throw it in an electronic bin. Or I have to call the manufacturer to come pick it up. That's not normal. How about handicapped people, the elderly? How do you throw out a TV? Anyway, they should work on that.
So do you know if that's for residential tenants or residential customers? Yeah, but in terms of this arranging stuff. So it may not qualify for wherever she lives. Okay. Okay. We can still look into it, right? We'll follow up with you. Yeah. Okay. Harry's looking into that. All right. Let's go back to Roy Medina, the last gallery session speaker.
I just wanted to make a couple of fast questions. I wanted to thank the community board for opposing the project in 1900, but I was wondering, if that objection has ever been introduced anywhere, said to anybody, and when could we expect like the next phase of that? My wife brought up at the meeting, I don't know if it's the last one or one before that we had gotten news that it's also being voted on by the board at Jacoby. I don't know if that's true or not. And she also, no, that's not true? I haven't heard anything. Okay, and we heard there's 11 people on the board and 6 of them have been placed there by Mayor Adams. And if that's true, I want to see if that could be looked into.
If it's the advisory board, that's not true.
Okay.
Oh, that's so the Health and Hospitals Corporation Board is going to vote on it. We have last time I spoke to HAC, we have no idea when they're meeting, but it is supposed to be a public meeting as well. I think they meet downtown. I'm not sure.
Okay. And on a personal note, just going through at my house, I had my sidewalk replaced. I replaced it twice. Cost me, when I moved in 2003, cost me $1,000. It cost me about $1,600 a few years later. I have a tree with roots that are picking it up, and the New York City Parks Department is supposed to take care of that. I called 311, they told me who to call. They came and assessed it, and they take care of it if it's an 80 or above. Well, about 6 years ago, they rated it at a 72. Since then, the sidewalk has collapsed. 2 more plates are now sticking up in the air, and somebody's going to get hurt. I can't keep spending thousands of dollars on a tree planted by the city. You can see the root with your own eyes, but they're supposed to show up at the property within 6 months. I've been waiting 2 years now. They just don't show up, and somebody is going to get hurt over there. And any advice from anybody on the board that can tell me, like, where I'm supposed to take before somebody gets hurt?
I'm trying to do 2 things at once. I don't know what you said. So, all right. So, hello, can everybody hear me? So I did forget that one person emailed me this morning that they filled out the slip, or at least they said they did. I don't remember seeing it, but I'll call on that person anyway. Charlene Jackson, are you present? Charlene Jackson.
I can't, hello? Yes, Arlene Jackson Mendez, and I did wish to cede my time to Roxanne Delgado. Thank you.
Again, this is about the election. I mean, you guys vote for who is your chair, but I would like to mention if someone's running for city council and they win, they will have to resign. So I would think you would want someone that will be devoted to this seat, because it's a very, as you know, it's a lot of work. And also it's because the community board is to be apolitical. We don't want to bring politics. We constantly have politics here. So I hope you can take that in consideration. Thank you.
Okay, so that concludes the gallery. So chairman's report, Al D'Angelo.
We have one proposal from the bylaws committee.
So we have a bylaw proposal by a board member. It's actually quite a few proposals, Al. So I don't know if you want to read them all.
All right, the first one, 90-day probationary period, which would be mandatory, which would include mandatory attendance at a minimum of 3 committee meetings, being assigned as a mentor. The second one would automatically assign, the new member would automatically be assigned to a committee with a deficit number of members. 3, at the end of the probationary period, the member can decide to join another committee with approval of the committee chairs. And 4, an electronic certificate is generated for members who completed the probationary period. And 5, the leadership committee membership is restricted for a period of 6 months.
So just remember that this is a proposal. It's not set in stone. We've had a little bit of conversation via email about chair. The first proposal, it should say the probationary period includes mandatory attendance at a minimum of 3 committee meetings and being assigned a mentor. The idea is to really help the member. It sounds very draconian, the language. We can soften up the sound of it, but it's there ultimately to help acclimate new board members. So unless there's any questions about that, Al, anything else? Yeah, the bylaws committee, I believe David Levitt plans on scheduling something to look into these matters. So unless there's any other questions, comments from the board members, we will move on to Veronica for the treasurer's report.
Actually, I do. I have more of a comment. Hello, everyone. Thank you for this. And so in listening to this, I totally agree that mentorship is super important. Being a new member, maybe 4 months now, 3-4 months, there's been a lot that I've had to learn on my own. facts. And I did take the orientation. Yeah, as we all have to, Borough President, it's a lot of information to undertake. So I like that idea, but I want to say that by default, maybe I got elected chair of a particular committee. And I want to say, I want to say that, yes, if an individual is interested and they really want to be a part of something, they're going to do the best job possible. And I think that I've been doing that. So when I'm hearing that we want to put a pause on people joining a leadership committee, which by default I ended up being a part of, only because of the way things happened, I don't think that we should stop individuals from showing their potential or from giving. So that's just what I wanted to say, and that's that.
Thank you.
Six.
Hi, everyone. Okay, the treasurer's report has been uploaded to the website, but it has been brought to my attention that there is an error. The salaries for the staff members have been adjusted correctly and are reflected correctly on the treasurer's report, but I did not deduct the $9,000 that was put aside for that salary raise. So I will make that adjustment tonight, and the corrected or revised treasurer's report will be up on the website by tomorrow. Thank you.
Hazel? Hazel, you there?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize for not being there. I want to give it to everybody. Everybody had a chance to review December's board meeting minutes. I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to accept the December 2022 full board minutes. Do we have any discussions?
I second.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any discussions? Anyone opposed?
Discussion.
Anyone abstaining? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you very much.
All right, so that was for the December 2022 full board meeting minutes. There were no objections or abstentions. So I know a member of the gallery was concerned that when people don't speak up, you are automatically included as voting for the motion. You need to speak up if you're not voting for the motion, especially with WebEx and remote meetings. That's what we've learned is best, is just state your objection or your abstention. Otherwise, you will be considered part of voting in favor, as we just did. So it was unanimous until otherwise. District manager's report. So some of you might have heard Ken Kearns, the former district manager of Community Board 10, passed away recently. Anybody wants more info on that, I can send it out to you or the board as a whole. Gallery session speaker requirement. You know, now that we're meeting back in person again, historically what we'd always do is you fill out a slip before the meeting starts, which, you know, those people are in the queue first. So I don't know if the bylaws where we say for remote meetings, gallery session speakers must register with board staff at least 36 hours in advance. I've not been adhering to that because if somebody can just show up and fill out a slip, what do you need to, you know, sign up in advance for? So I don't know if that's something we should reconsider. That's just something to be aware of. I can start going through and doing the 36-hour thing, at least for the remote people. It's up to the board. So I can say tons of other things, but we got to obviously have an election. So I'll turn over the committee reports unless there's questions. John Johnson. So are you know what to do? You need help? Joanne's been a chair of the committee, but so we have so if you look at the agenda, so we have, we're supposed to take nominations for a final time for the chairperson's position. So, yeah, so right now the floor is open for nominations. And if there's anybody now that would like to nominate anyone else, we do this twice. We do this 2 consecutive months. So.
Open would like nominated.
From the board. The board
From-
makes
from the board.
nominations, yeah. Online, does anybody want?
So what was the purpose of having 4 candidates up on the thing?
What's that?
We have 4 candidates.
Yes, but we still have to take nominations from the floor.
Got it.
So if there's no nominations, no online, no hands are raised from board members. So we'll close the nominations, John.
Nominations closed.
So now the election, we're going to conduct the.
Guess we'll start the elections and everybody has, what's the process? We have it online?
So just remember, we have 4 candidates, declared candidates. You can still do a write-in option if you really like me that much. Yeah, I can't obviously run for a position. I already have one. So 4 candidates. The ballot also has a 5th option for abstaining, and then the 6th option is your write-in option, because I know some people off the bat maybe are going to abstain. It's entirely up to you. I expect a runoff. So remember, the way this works is the top 2 candidates with the most votes will go on to the next round. And according to our bylaws, we keep voting and voting and voting. It's going to be like, Congress, except for you're not leaving until we're done voting. Well, unless we don't have a quorum. So unless there's any questions, I have the ballot prepared and ready to send out. It's already been reviewed by the committee. And the statements for all the candidates have gone out. So they are on the ballot for that reason. They complied with the 72-hour requirement. There are also questions that were asked and that they answered. Jeanette, you have a question? The ballot, as agreed upon, I think in December, it's going to be electronic ballot. I'm going to email it to everyone now. If anybody needs help right now, you can use my laptop. You can borrow your neighbor's smartphone, but I'm going to send that out. I'm going to send the entire board an email. It's going to be done electronically. And then we're going to continue as we historically do. Once the ballots are distributed, we're going to continue on with our business. You can vote in the meantime. Any other questions, comments? Yeah, I'm going to send it out via email, and then we'll continue on with the committee
To make
reports.
a statement about the 20.
I see.
Project.
All right, so I can take 5 minutes to send it out first, if you want. All right, we're going to take 5 minutes to send it out before. Okay, well, David, do you want to go ahead and give your report?
I'm happy to give
send
my
it out?
report now.
Wait.
The bylaws committee met on January 9th, and we're recommending 2 changes to the bylaws. One is to strike the last sentence of Article 11, which reads that community board staff may only make public statements that reflect the official position of the community board. And second, to change all masculine and feminine pronouns to gender neutral terminology per city regulation. Is there any questions or discussion on these proposed changes? If there's no question or discussion, I'll call for a vote. Is there anybody opposed to the changes? Is there anybody abstaining? So hearing no objections or
Wait,
abstentions.
I'm sorry, hold on, David, I was just struggling to unmute myself. This is Lisa. Can we separate those 2
changes because I think they're very different and some people may want to vote differently on each one.
Okay, I will make them as separate motions. So we'll vote first on striking the last sentence of Article 11. Are there is anybody who is against that change? Is there anybody who's abstaining?
I am against that change.
Who is speaking?
Lisa.
Lisa, okay, so Lisa will
Yep.
mark you down as against. I don't hear any abstentions. So then we'll note that the motion passes with Lisa Soto.
Hold on, Dave, we got people abstaining. Malcolm is abstaining.
I'm sorry, Jeremy, I didn't hear you.
Say again, David, I hear you. I hear you.
Jeremy, I'll tell him.
Well, maybe.
Malcolm Gray is abstaining.
Okay. Okay, so the second motion is to change all masculine and feminine pronouns in the bylaws to gender neutral terms. Is there anybody voting against this change?
The identity of the most handsome man in the world. I love.
Is there anybody abstaining? Then this motion passes unanimously. The bylaws committee will meet in February to consider the changes that were just announced by the chair of the board. And we look forward to a discussion of those changes. That concludes my report.
Just a piece of information, I just got this from Chris. The entire north of Pelham Parkway is without electricity. I said, Chris just sent me a message saying that the entire northern Pelham Parkway is without electricity. So, just a heads up.
Your corner in your corner.
Okay, leadership committee, that's Al, it's you, Al.
It's up to you. If you want me to do it, I'll do it. Okay. So we have two motions for leadership. The first motion is to remove the Bronx Community Board 11 Facebook group as an official arm of CB11's social media presence. We don't need a second, right? Because it was that committee? Okay, so do we have any discussion? Malcolm?
Hello?
How they got.
Admin teachers at college and in my work profession. It is absolutely necessary to have an official page, right? It's how you do outreach, it's how you're able to blast out your events, it's how you're able to sometimes drive consensus. Now, I have been a part of social media committee, and I think you all do a good job, but I do disagree with the way that the page is run, personally. I do think that the page can be ran in a way where it's just admins and board posting, right? It should be a page where we're posting our events, we're posting our meetings. It should be a page where we're also collaborating with other CBOs and organizations within our community to post events and to also raise consensus with our community. I don't agree with some of the posts that has been submitted on the page, because I do believe that it has reached certain forms of ethics in a sense. So if we're able to reform the page, to just be admins and the board dictating what is posted solely for community board use and other CBOs within our community, along with expanding our outreach with Instagram, because I did hear, Miss Charlene, I heard you at the get newer demographics into our community board. So that's all I have to say, but.
So Malcolm, the issue is we have a Facebook group and a Facebook page.
Right.
So part of this was they want to take the Facebook group, which is currently and anyone from the social media committee, just correct me if I'm wrong. The Facebook group is currently the official page for CB11. There is another, the Facebook group is the official group for CB11. There's a Facebook page that they would like to be made as the official page for CB11. The other group can be changed to just a community page where people could post, but the page itself, the Facebook page, would become official and would be just as you said, just for community board and any other notifications and so forth. So that's part of this. And did I
Okay.
get that correct?
Well, partly. Is this on? Okay. No? Okay. Okay, actually, this motion is in correction of an error because actually the group page, you want to call it a page, but the group page is not an official page. In the About section, it's not the official agency page. The official page is the other one, which is called Community Board 11, and that is an admin page where we actually want our events and all that. And this is more of a community page where people interact with each other and post, and it's 3,600 people. And it's really not appropriate for it to be an official page. That's really all I have to say.
Malcolm?
So, all right. Yeah, all right. So I do get that. But even in a sense, like from the other groups that I have been a part of, especially within my experience, we don't allow, like, personally, I do feel like we should not be supportive of there being any other page associated with Community Board 11, right? So, like, even if it says Friends of Community Board 11, like, we should make it clear that that's not us. Because we cannot control what is said on that page, what is posted on that page. And you also have to think about the fact that what if somebody breaches a line and it comes back to us and it stands? I do think that our page, which I thought we voted to make official before, that should stay our page. We should probably revamp the page and go over who are the admins on that page, but also make it clear that that Friends of whatever the other page is has nothing to do with us at all. Like that we should even request that it should be disbanded as long as using our name.
I'm sorry. I'm a little confused here. Are there two pages? Is there a page in a group? Can somebody like clarify? I feel like the terms are being used and they're a page and a group are two different things. And I just
It's
need
the
clarification.
constituents. It does have to do with us because it's the constituents of Community Board 11. And as volunteers and people on the social media committee, we would just, because of our experience, we would help out with that. But yeah, it wouldn't be an official page. That's fine. But it does have to do with Community Board 11 because it's the constituent page. So it would be something like, we would change the name to Community Board 11 Residents Page. And then we would administer it, but it would not be an official page, and we make that clear. Okay.
Serena, you had a question?
That would give you the censor to power the public. That's inappropriate.
Microphone,
I
please.
believe illegal as well.
I'm a little loud, so I didn't need it. But so my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I was hearing from the gallery, I think the community wants us to still have, because it's been in existence for over 10 years, if I heard correctly.
And there's 3,600 people.
And there's 3,600 people.
Right.
Then I also heard someone that logged in, or that's probably still with us, and I'm sure I can find his name, but someone said that they were blocked from one of our social medias, right? So
I have no idea who that person is, and I personally did not block that person.
okay, so I did jot down his name, and
I'm still here.
But nevertheless, yeah, he conceded his time. But so AJ Ramos.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So I think we,
It's a matter of free
we
speech,
have
free
to
press, and
really,
redress of government.
in our social media committee, really, break down the policy of what our code of conduct is for social media, not just for Facebook.
We have that. We have that in expressly in our rules, and that will remain.
So can we follow up to find out why Mr. AJ Ramos was blocked?
No problem.
And then is our social media open in terms of for comments for everyone? Or is it just our group page that's open for comments?
The other page, but you cannot post. So in other words, if we put up, schedule or an event, you can comment on it, but not make an original post.
Okay, all right, so I think that answers my question. And then I have to just agree with Malcolm in that I think that collectively, because I know just all of us, we have a lot to do, but collectively, if we could all disseminate information that I think would be better. Respond. Maybe we can take turns of who's gonna respond to what. Maybe somebody has the AM shift and somebody gets a PM shift, but we really just can't leave these posts without being addressed.
Right. Well, we do have rules regarding posts and how they're conducted. And if something is against an individual, it's all in the rules if you read them.
Mike, please.
It's for the recording.
I'm more talking about our engagement, right? Because maybe someone will respond at 10 o'clock at night or say something. Of course, we may or may not be available to take care of the social media the way we would our own, right? We would immediately, but it's the engagement that I'm talking about. It's really like, okay, someone has something to say, we heard it, we acknowledge it in some way, shape, or form. Have a page to social media management, and that's a whole lot of work, but I'm just saying that I think that we should be more engaging with our social media.
Okay. Cynthia first, and then Lisa Soto. Cynthia?
So the only thing that I think part of the confusion lies in the fact that back in October, there was discussion about adopting the group as a we voted to make it in October, and now here we are in January saying, no, forget it, let's backtrack.
So let me clarify. So Joanne Rubino created the Facebook group in 2010. And when I came on 6 months later, I helped her build it up to what it is now. Eventually, I was kicked off or whatever. I can go into the previous chairman, but we won't do that right now. So, but while I was involved with it in 2012, we got the board to vote to make it the official page, the group page. So that held up until October when we made both pages the standard business platform page that I created because, people didn't like the group page. You're not the first or not to say that you don't like it, but you're not the first that have concerns about it. So we created that. That was the number. So so the group page was approved in 2012. Does that make sense?
Right.
But no, I just want to clarify because everybody keeps talking about the official government page. You're talking about the page I created that was just voted on in October.
No, I mean,
Which has been there for years now. Go ahead.
what you're saying makes sense. I think part of what we're torn with right now is having a sense of, and to kind of, are we going to relinquish it and then start from scratch where we lose, how many members are in the current group page? Then start from scratch or, it just leaves a lot of questions, I guess. Okay.
So
how to move forward.
So remember how this page operates? So those who aren't familiar, it seems like some people here tonight are unfamiliar with how the group page acts. So it's a group. Anybody can join it. Anybody can post. So it doesn't necessarily mean that Community Board 11 is posting. It could be any resident or anybody who's a member of the page can post and share. right? Obviously, there's a screening. Anybody that's an admin, Malcolm or Cynthia, you guys screen that stuff currently. And you work out how you want. Is that clear for everybody? Is there any other questions on how this thing currently operates?
I'm not clear because everyone keeps interchanging the words
Okay,
page
so Lisa
and group.
Soto has her hand up. She's online. Let me.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, I'm very confused because everyone keeps interchanging the word group and page, so I don't know which is which. And they're two different things. A group is a group and a page is a page. So can someone just re-explain which one is which and what you're proposing to do with each one?
All right, so
I don't hear anything.
there's a group. Basically, I guess all the admins agreed to basically wipe their hands of it. Is that how you came to the conclusion?
We're not going to wipe our hands of it. I mean, what we're going to do is we're going to, it really isn't a government page. So we have to make that clear that it is not the official agency page. Even for the record. Okay, for the record, okay, it actually says in our about, and this, I discussed this with the borough president's office and they weren't even aware. Okay, yeah, but it says here, it is currently administered by board members and volunteers who moderate the posts and comments for the group page according to the social media policy, but it is not an official New York City agency page. And when I spoke to Tom Lucania, he said, you know what, then it's really best if you disconnect it because it's not the government page. You already have a
Hello, can you hear me?
government. Me too. So that's what we're doing now.
Can you still hear
Hey,
me?
board members.
The Constitution triumphs any policy, though. We have First Amendment rights in this country.
Yes. No, the unofficial, the social media committee does that, but staff mostly does that. We want to keep the page. Yes.
You just want to have the power to block and censor people. That's the problem.
Page. There's 3,600 people who are part of that page, and it's a good page. It's just, you know, it's 3,600 people, and we do a lot of good things. We share a lot of good information there. But with 3,600 people, you're bound to have some comments that are a little off, and you know.
The Constitution protects that. The Constitution protects all of this now.
So hold on. So again. There are two, so even though the description says it's not an official page, I don't recall the board ever voting to not make it official, right? The board made it an official, even though it's a group, it's not technically a Facebook page. The board that approved it in 2012, made it its official social media Facebook arm. So it's an official group, okay? Even though the description doesn't say that, that's what the motion is, to make it, to basically wipe their hands of it. So is that clear? Lisa?
I will sue if this has to be to reiterate my rights. We have a First Amendment right to free speech, free press, and right to redress our grievances to the government. You can't just now block it and censor it because you don't like what we're saying. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. So remember this, right now, the conversation is with board members. We're not hearing from the public. So I'm gonna put the mic back on for Lisa Soto.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
Okay. I'm still confused because you guys keep interchanging group and page. What are we talking about? Are we talking about the group or the page? Like, please don't interchange the words because it's confusing.
Let me try one more time. We're talking about the group.
Thank you.
Both the group and the page are official arms of our board.
Okay.
We're talking about the group.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes, so we're talking about the group, and the proposal is for what? To disassociate the group with
Okay, so
Community
the
Board 11?
proposal is to basically, to make the group not part of our social media platform. Does that make
And the
sense?
Okay, and the page will be the official arm of the community board.
Say that one more time.
And the page, the actual Facebook page will still be the official page of the community board.
Yeah, we'll still, yes, we'll still
Okay.
maintain the page.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know.
Jeanette. I sent the ballots out, by the way. Ballot.
So since it's my understanding that this group has been in existence for at least a decade, I think one of the purposes of a community board is to be invested time, energy in this group. I do think it should remain an official part of Community Board 11, and maybe we need to be more just mindful that there are always going to be people that will post positive things. There's going to be people that might post things that we don't want to hear, but it can be beneficial in many different ways. I think that even if we as a group decided that, no, this is no longer an official arm, that could almost be an empty gesture because it's just existed for a very long time. And it serves a purpose that can be both supportive and beneficial. It just might mean changing how we handle it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay, if discussions are done, I don't,
Lisa has her hand up again. I don't know if I can try to call on her again.
all right, after Lisa, that's it though, because we want to move it along. Oh,
Oh,
Christine?
no, sorry, I just didn't take it down.
It is
Sorry.
not.
I
Okay,
don't-
so I just want to agree with the other board member about the time that, has been invested into this group page and the amount of community members that are part of this group page. And if there is you guys make clear that you are no longer officially representing Community Board 11.
I don't know if that actually is the intent. It's not, we're still going to be involved. It's just that we cannot be the government page. Because of so many people posting and so it's not sustainable to have it as a government page. That's really all we're saying. So we're saying the government page should be that page. This should not be the government official page. As I spoke to at the office, at the borough president's office.
Okay, but
they feel that it should not be considered government page. But we will still run it the same way. I mean, it's not like it would change fundamentally, Here's the thing, it was brought to our attention that we couldn't do anything that had to do with any kind of fund. So then we realized that was the case. And I called the borough president's office on this. That something like the 49th precinct breakfast could not be posted. And we would have to go through all these machinations because there's a cost involved. If PS 83 has an event, we can't post that because it's, $5 to get in. So we can't do a lot of people share all these community things that that we find out later that we're not able to post. So I just think it for the benefit of the residents who want to post things and share things in the community for 3,600 people, I think we have to it wouldn't be the official page that has to go by the city government rules, which have to do with fundraising. Okay? So that's really what is going on here. And we would still run the page in the same way. But we would be able to post more things that are benefit to community.
Okay, can I?
So Bernadette and then Christine. Okay, we'll be able to see.
Am I, just correct me if I'm wrong, because I've tried to do this before. If we want to keep that page with Facebook, a page is established, you cannot change the name. Am I correct?
Yeah, no, you can change the name. Sure you can.
You can change the name.
No problem.
Okay, well, I had issues with
Change
that,
it
that's
to
why.
Bronx Community Board 11 residents page, because that's
Okay, but
really
it
what it
wouldn't
is.
change the amount of people that are currently engaged.
We would not.
Fantastic, okay.
No.
That's just what I wanted to know.
No, that's what we wanted to do. Otherwise, it wasn't being sustainable. So, okay.
All right.
Okay. So can we vote at this point?
Right, no more
Jeremy, I still have one question, a couple of questions.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Christine, I meant to call you. Go ahead.
So just for transparency, right, and just to be clear, since this is not an official page, you can block whoever you want from the page.
Yep.
And you can, take down posts that you don't agree with. and
Absolutely.
you
Well,
can
don't
put up
agree.
all kinds of
We don't want to be, what do they call it, echo chamber, and everybody agrees at everything. You're going to have differences of opinion. You're going to be left, right, middle. What we don't want is people being nasty to each other, and that's what we take down.
We also don't want to block out or keep out community residents from, voicing their opinions, even if we disagree with it, as long as it's
As
done in a
long as it's done in
respectful
a
way, right?
polite way, as long as it's done in a nice way, and,
Because we have from community, from
Absolutely.
community members that have been blocked in the
Mhm.
past.
well, certain people, like there are some people who would spam. Actually, we pretty much unblocked most people because maybe there was a problem years ago, and we unblocked people. So,
Just a quick thing, this is John. If you run that page, not
I'm a resident. I'm a resident too.
right, as a resident,
Yeah.
anybody here can run a page,
Uh-huh.
right? I can put one out that says whatever I want.
Uh-huh.
So if you were to separate that page and you run it not as a community board member, but as a resident,
Mm-hmm.
and then the community board has an official one that designates one person to monitor it.
Thank you.
You can plant petunias on your webpage. I don't care. I mean, right,
Right.
it's yours.
Well-
And you could block anyone you want, do anything,
Right.
that's yours. It's not the official. So as long as we can separate, that's yours,
Uh-huh.
and the community board has theirs, you're a master of your domain,
Well-
but.
We have.
That has nothing to do with us. If all those 3,600 people wanted to, we announced that we have an official page and they want to join the official page, fantastic. If they don't and they want to stay on that page, they could be on both pages. They could be on one, two, but we got to differentiate. You're running that of the community board. The community board will have their own, and then we can designate and control that and do that. But again, we cannot dictate how you run that page because you're doing it as an individual who lives in the district.
Well, that's exactly what the borough president's office told us.
So let's, why can't we just have our own page and you keep
Right.
yours and I can't tell you what to do on
Right.
yours. You can
Well,
block anyone, restrict anyone.
We have two non-board members who've been monitoring the page. And I'm a resident. Two other people here are also residents.
Then I
so-
think there's no problem yet.
Okay.
All right.
Running it as an individual and then we'll have an official one.
Mhm.
What's the problem?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, can we do final question, Janice Walcott?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Final question, and then we're going to move on to the vote.
Can this be called the Community Board 11 Residents page?
That's exactly what we're going to call it.
Okay, so, it'll be separate and apart from the official Community Board page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay,
Okay.
so
All right, let's go. Let's move.
we'll call a vote.
Yeah, so that ends the discussion. Do we have any objections?
What next?
Sure. The motion is, let me get my eyes on, hold on. Motion to remove Facebook group as an official arm of CB11's social media presence. So do we have any objections to the motion? I don't see any online. Abstentions? Who abstaining? Christine and Malcolm? Yeah, Christine Culpepper and Malcolm Gray abstaining. Anybody?
Christian Amato.
Anyone online
abstains.
abstaining or opposing the motion to make the Facebook group the unofficial or non-official arm of the Community Board 11? Or it's not part of Community Board 11?
Christian Amato abstaining.
Okay.
Christian Amato did.
Christian Amato, what?
You're saying no?
Objected or abstained?
Abstained.
You abstained.
So we have 3 abstentions.
So 3 abstentions.
Okay, 3 abstentions, motion carries.
Thank
Now
you
on to
all.
the second one, and hopefully this one will be a little quicker. Motion to require 2 staff members physically in the office per day, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., beginning February 1st, and only 1 staff member physically in the office on Fridays. Do we have any discussion? Did you reach out to the Bronx, to the borough president to see what Cheryl? She wants people in the office? Okay, so any discussion on this? Janice,
Do we have volunteers in the office on Friday along with the one?
can you speak into the mic?
Do we have volunteers in the office on Friday along with the staff member, the one staff member?
No, currently, there's no interns.
That's not good.
Currently, there's no interns, but the thinking behind it was that we don't want to have somebody working more. So every employee, every staff member will be in there 2 days. Let me see if I'm getting this right. There'll be 2 people in the office every day except Friday, and that'll be a rotating thing. Not, the same staff member is not going to be in the office by themselves every Friday. So it'll be rotating. 1 week it'll be Harriet, 1 week it'll be Chris, 1 week will be Jeremy, just so that it's even. We're trying to give them the option of of being able to do hybrid, part remote part of the week and part in the office until it's told that they need to be in the office full time. So right now we were told that the Bronx Borough President wants people to be going back into the office, but we have the option of doing it partly remote, and that's what we're trying to give to the staff. So they're not, right now, they're not mandated to go into the office permanently every day. So we're giving them the option of some person so that it evens out for the week.
Okay, that's fine. So if you got one person in on Friday, that person needs some help, even if it's a volunteer. I think so. Okay, you need not just one person, one staff member, but a volunteer on Friday also. That makes a lot of sense, okay?
Well, so board members are welcome to come to the office with us. Feel free to visit on Friday if you want. I mean, you visit today, tomorrow, or I mean, another day too. I mean, we're volunteers, right?
Okay, any other discussion?
About a volunteer, you know.
Anyone on WebEx? Go ahead, Bernadette.
Is there a possibility that we could just work from Monday to Thursday and not just have one person in on Friday? That is leaving the person open to not being accompanied with anybody, and it could be a safety issue? Is that a possibility at all, or is it mandated that somebody has to be there on Friday?
The thinking behind this was that there would be someone in the office for every day for the community to be able to address to go for anything for a community board, that there will be someone there that can help them. So that was the thinking behind having someone there every day.
So what's the question? It's an option. What? I mean, right now, so let me clarify this whole thing. Yeah, I mean, we should vote on the motion first, right? But people in Manhattan, stuff in Manhattan, Doesn't mean we have to follow that. So it's totally an option.
Right, but this directive, just, for clarification, was from the BP's office, not the mayor's office. And that was back in September, and Al spoke with the BP, and she is still in agreement with that decision.
Well, is she in agreement with that decision, or she's okay with what we're doing? She's okay with what we're doing. I mean, right now, it's one person a day. I mean, what we really want to do, I think what really the issue is, if I step out, I have to meet with the BP, which is what happened one time. Somebody else is going to be there to cover.
Okay.
Malcolm. Is there a green button on?
Guys, just real quick, you don't have to touch the phone. Jeremy controls them here. Make sure that the microphone, all right?
So like, the staff is not in the office. Are you guys virtual? But if something happens, they can just call you and say it.
Right.
Yeah.
It depends if we're off or whatever, if we take off. Otherwise, yeah, we're working.
Okay, so I don't think there's any more discussion. Any abstentions?
Bernadette objects.
Okay, so we have one objection, Bernadette?
Let's vote on this
Sure.
first. Because
There's been a request to repeat the motion. The motion is to require 2 staff members physically in the office per day, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., beginning February 1st, and only 1 staff member physically in the office on Fridays. Okay, so I'll repeat. Any objections other than Bernadette? Janice? And Ellie? So that's 3 objections. I don't see any objections online or hear any.
any online? Any objections online?
I object.
Okay,
Miguel's talking maybe?
I am.
Debbie, do you hear that? Or?
okay. Do we have any abstentions? Okay, abstentions online? And 3 objections, motion carries.
So,
And that's the end of the leadership report.
so I
Oh,
have
no,
a
actually,
question.
it's not.
I have a question, Veronica, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I didn't want to discuss it during what we just discussed because the board should vote on yes or no. We pushed back February 1st to February 13th. Just so I pushed the start date back from February 1st to February 14th. It's up to the board, obviously, but I'm just asking if you could accommodate me that way.
Do we have a motion? Malcolm?
All right, I make the motion to push the start date back from February 1st to February 13th.
It's
Why should, can I ask a question?
Sandy.
Why do you want to move it back now to the 13th? That's another 2 weeks. What's the rationale after it's been voted to do it starting on the 1st?
Right now, I was bringing up after you guys.
You're
When you
breaking
vote on
up.
something, you should, unless the whole committee can withdraw the motion, you need to vote on it. So that's why I waited until after it was voted on. And in terms of the pushing it back to the 13th, I just need to work out something personally.
You're
This is my
breaking
request.
up.
I already heard this about, they were okay with me pushing that request. I don't know about their situation, but this is just for me to get my personal stuff in order. That's all.
Is that okay, Sandy?
Any other discussion?
No.
Okay. Any objections? Any objections online?
They knew what was coming.
Any objections
Why?
online? No objections in person to pushing the start date back. I see April Francis might be talking.
No, no, no,
So
no.
people online, if you could raise your hand, that's very clear. That's a clear sign that you want to talk. April, you want to say something?
Okay. Any abstentions? Any abstentions online? Okay, motion passes.
Thank you, everybody.
Now, Jeremy, the next item is 2560 Boston Road rezoning proposal.
So this came up at leadership, right? That's why it's on the leadership agenda. There was something sent out. I did receive a letter today. There's questions about AMI. I did send out to the board. I don't know if everybody got a chance to look at it. But here it is. I brought a single copy if anybody wants to look at it now. But it was emailed out to everybody. I know it was a little bit short notice. They were hoping to get me the letter yesterday. Whatever. Here it is.
Honestly, I didn't see the letter. I don't know if we're going to be able to vote on anything for this today because I think we need time for everybody to be able to read it. Just what it is to send around. So I suggest we table this. I know they wanted a letter yesterday, but I don't think that's plausible.
It's up to you guys, up to the board.
I
Guys and girls.
agree.
Okay.
I agree with table it.
Yeah.
So I will ask that the board members do take a look at the email, so that way the next time it comes up at a meeting, we'll be able to vote and be fully informed when we do that.
Okay, Joe Thompson, Economic Development. The green button on.
Yeah, I think I've got you. Okay, we had 4 liquor applications. That's with licensed premises. And of the 4 locations that we had no problem with several of them. We did have a problem with the last one. And the first one was Rudy's Restaurant, 600 Van Nest Avenue, beer and cider. Now, since 2 of our committee members, frequent this place and they know it well. And they have absolutely that we have no with it. Strictly beer and cider. They order from them. They have sent out food. So we voted for no objection to this license. I can do this in mass except for the last one. The 3 Jack Restaurant Corporation, Caridad and Louis Restaurant. Also, we've had no problems with them. They run a very clean operation. B&L Mordecai Inc., which is Code Red Restaurants and Lounge. That's at 1320 East Gun Hill Road. This is a place that I was very impressed with. If you want to go to a good restaurant, it's a large place. It's about 3,000 square feet. They have 3 sections. They have 3 security people on duty. It's a well-run establishment. They had no problem showing me exactly where everything was. I went there unexpectedly and got the full picture of what they're doing. So this is a place that I would recommend my family go to. So we had no problem with that. And I'd like to make a motion to accept these. We have no objection to these license renewals.
So the motion is already made in committee, so the motion is live. So is anybody objecting? Or
Okay.
discussion?
Any discussion on these? Okay, the last place, so the motion should pass.
Oh, we have to ask for objections and abstentions.
We have to what?
You have to ask for objections and then
we have any objections on this? Okay, they're very good places. We've researched them and we go there.
And abstentions.
Any abstentions on this? Okay, I guess we pass.
Yes.
Okay, our last one, we do have a problem with. And this is an establishment, it's a grocery store, and they want to upgrade their license to permit beer. And we looked at this, I've looked at it personally. I've gotten input from the community, and the community doesn't want it. But to tell you the truth, when I looked at it, it's 2143 Barnes Avenue. It's a deli grocery. It's right on the corner of Leidick Avenue. It's 700 square feet. It's not well kept. Kitchen in the back, grocery store. They have a back. They have a little service area where you can buy some small food items. They have a bathroom for guests, which is downstairs in the basement, but you have to go down these steep stairs, about 12 stairs down to the basement to even use the restrooms. This on Barnes Avenue, and about 750 feet from the local elementary school. We do have an objection with this, just based on what we've seen inside, based on the locality, which is next to the libraries, next to the school. It's not a well-run establishment. It's not clean. So for these reasons, we do have an objection, and we object to this license change. Do I have a second?
We don't need a second.
Okay, all in favor?
Well, for
Aye.
discussion,
Open for discussion?
Jeremy, can you put,
Any objections?
hold on one second, Joe. I need to talk.
Okay, so,
Just for additional information, we've had residents complaining about this establishment. There's even a board member that lives a couple blocks, can hear the music from her apartment. So it's not just the board member that has an issue with it. We do have community input, and they also have issues with this establishment.
yeah, we do have written evidence.
Go ahead.
We do have written evidence on this. The entire community is opposed to this. The entire active community is opposed to this. We see absolutely no reason to change this. It's a place that's unsanitary. It's a place that doesn't provide any laboratory space for bathrooms. It's totally a bad idea. So in that respect, do we have any? I guess we pass.
I got a question.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a lot of delis that play music.
Microphone.
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of delis that play music, and I don't know no deli that has a bathroom, and they a lot.
Well, they don't go.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, but now I understand. They want to make it a.
Practically.
I got the understanding that it was going to be a deli that just sells beer. I didn't know about the bar.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's different
This
now.
is not
Now
outside
I
beer.
understand. Thank you.
This is in-house drinking.
Thank you. I understand now.
And if you drink beer, you couldn't need the bathroom.
No, I don't drink beer.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Hold on
Motion
a second.
passes.
Hold on a second.
We have
Okay, so-
another question?
So it's just beer?
Just beer and wine.
Is it illegal for them to sell beer or wine next to a library or a school?
No, not, it's not illegal.
Okay. Is there any violations filed against this establishment?
Not to my knowledge.
So their cleanliness or lack of, is it based on our personal inspection?
It's not just clean. The bathrooms. It's also the fact that we are 500, 750 feet away from a school.
But it's not illegal, though.
It's not illegal.
Okay, so you're bringing that as an argument against this establishment, but it's not illegal for them to sell beer.
No, they sell beer. They want to have drink beer on premise. They want to drink beer on premise.
Yeah, but it's not illegal.
Not if they get a license.
Okay.
Okay. So motion carried, right? All right, so moving on, unless there's anything else, we got the Serena Muniz, the Community Development Budget Priorities Committee. Okay, just leave the green button alone. Just leave the buttons alone. If it turns red, I'll change the batteries out.
Good evening, everyone. So we held our committee meeting this week on Tuesday. And we did that the mayor's preliminary budget was released at the end of, well, maybe the end of last week. We welcome everyone to take a look at that budget because that's extremely important. This Registrar of Community Board budget request really dictates what we're going to be able to do in this community. We will create a form that the community can, throughout the year, provide us not only feedback, but their asks, so that at the end of close to the end of the year, in October, we'll have everyone's input so that we can submit all of the requests. That's available on this agenda. If you click the hyperlink, it should take you to what the budget looks like based on our public hearing that we had in October. And I just want to just highlight that I probably was the chair of this committee 3 days before this public hearing was to take place. So there was a lot of things that I had to learn really quickly. But nevertheless, I have to say that we submitted all asks. And if there was an ask that does not appear on this budget, we're going to talk about it on February 28th, which is the next public hearing. After that, the mayor's office of budget will be looking at this particular budget, and then we will all collectively, and I invite every committee member to view the meeting that we had last week, and to also join us when the city council has their public hearing, so that CB 11's voice is also heard. And that is all that I have to report.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. The Education, Culture, and Youth Services did have their meeting on January 4th, 2023. The minutes are submitted and they will be up on the website on by Friday. This particular meeting really was to get the 11 submissions, look them over, which all the committee members had way before. So they had time to make decisions, have questions, et cetera, and choose 5 for the finalists, which we know that we would love to give away 11 to everybody, but we're here to pick 5. So the 3 committee members, which were Malcolm and Grady, went into executive session. I was not part of that because I also, from Vanna's Neighborhood Alliance, did make a submission. So I was not privy to the back and forth conversation. The public and myself were put in the lobby and waited until the decision was made. There was also an option that I gave everybody that was choosing that if for some reason there were still questions or, wait, but they did choose 5, and these are the 5 that were chosen. They are in the agenda. It's Stephanie Chavez, Bila Ahmed, Joanne Jones, Shermaro Muir, and Julia Gonzalez. I just want to reiterate, there were 11 submissions, which is wonderful. And we urge every submission that was not chosen, that they have any questions, to talk to any one of our committee members and ask how we can make it better, and start from this point on to improve on the resume, improve on the details of their volunteer work, where, when, what they did, and to improve their resumes. So, and to make sure you submit early for next year. This is ongoing every year. And just quickly, there is a suggestion that Malcolm Gray made that I will come in front of the committee, and I'm sure will be voted on. But I just wanted to say a few words about that because I just thought it was a fantastic idea. Malcolm?
Thank you, Bernadette. Oh. All right. Yeah, thank you, Bernadette. So, I definitely think that it is important, especially as a community board, that we involve the Youth and Education Committee. Like, it is important that we ensure that we are establishing a pathway for success and opportunity no matter where we go. So I'm sorry, I'm tired. I suggested to Bernadette that our committee host a workshop for resume building and, interview skills. Our youth knows, what is needed in order to, come out on top of these opportunities, but also, to develop the skills later on when they're applying for college, for jobs, that they're the ones that are on top of the staff. Looking at some of the resumes, the applications, I felt like all the recipients had the necessary experiences and necessary items on their applications to succeed. It was just the way that it was built out that made it different. And I think that by showing them how to organize these things and to do so in a professional manner will definitely set them apart light years from other people, from other applicants in the future. So that's something that I think that our committee should definitely work on coming into next month and hopefully establish before the summertime. Thank you.
Thank you, Malcolm. I just want to congratulate the 5 to seeing just as many or more submissions for next year.
And just a reminder that even though we're putting these names forward, doesn't mean the New York Yankees will accept them. So it's all contingent upon them. Final call for votes. I think everybody at this point has voted, right? If you're online and you didn't vote, I need to know ASAP. Otherwise, I'm going to tally the votes and speak to the chair of the committee. Okay. Moving on to Naomi, or I don't know if Naomi's still in, Ethics and Disciplinary Committee.
I'll talk real quick. So for the pending complaints, Naomi has sent out an acknowledgement email to all the complainants, and it includes a unique file number for each of the complaints that can be tracked. Our next meeting is going to be February 8th. But it's a science document that Miguel and I have been working on to give Miguel the opportunity to discuss it.
Okay.
Go.
Monica, you went out. I heard my name, but I'm not quite sure.
Oh, if you want to discuss the guidance document for the ethics committee that you and Naomi have been working on.
Okay, again, you had a huge echo. I'm sorry.
All right. So Miguel, do you want to say any words about the document you created for the Ethics Committee?
I think that it's pretty much done. I think we'll vote on that on on the 8th, and then we will put it before the board on the following full board.
Thank you. That's all we have for ethics.
Okay, then we'll go to housing. Hazel?
Hi, good evening again. Housing held a meeting on, December 5th, where we had invited a representative from the Department of Buildings who gave a really good, informational presentation on finding, out what kind of permits are being, sought after and all the construction that's going on throughout the community, and how, to get whatever information that you're looking for. It was really good, and it was recorded, and I really suggest that everybody go and look at it, because, we need to stay on top of all this construction and make sure that everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing and adhering to the laws. So if you get a chance, just go and take a look at it. Thank you.
All right, Ken Gelnick, Land Use Committee?
Yeah, land use did not have a meeting this month. I would just like to make one statement, though. On the 2560 Boston Road, we actually had two meetings prior to the public hearing, and that's all. So everybody was should have been informed about it. Thank you. That's all.
So, I know Averill is online. Averill Francis, Sanitation Committee?
Jeremy, did you call my name?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I'm not muted.
Yeah, I know. I called you. You're sanitation.
Yes. You're breaking up on my end, Jeremy. Can you speak again?
Yeah, sanitation committee. Is there anything you want to announce? Averill?
Well, yes, for our next meeting, we are trying to be clear that our next meeting is going to go forward because of our guests. So, do you have any update for us?
Three? Good. So is it off? Please don't touch it.
I didn't touch it.
If it goes out, let me know on its own. These batteries don't.
Our next meeting, sanitation and environmental meeting, will be February 7th at 7 p.m. via WebEx. Our guest speaker is going to be the Department of Environmental Protection, talking about what they do for the community board and how the community board could interact with that city agency.
Okay, so unless there's anything else, Averill or anybody else?
No,
I see Miguel, you have your hand up? No, okay. Transportation, Rabbi's not here. Christian? You wanna- Go ahead.
Can't hear him.
Okay, I can't, if you want to speak Christian, I can't hear you. You want to raise your hand in the meeting, let me know. Otherwise, we'll move on to, unless there's any other committee reports, we'll move on to the elected officials. Okay, oh yeah, I didn't even notice him. Sorry. We have Assemblymember Zakaro. Wait, hold on. Christian has. Oh, it's up to you. What are we doing? We doing the assembly member first? Yeah,
Let the
sorry.
assembly member speak and then we'll go.
Just 1 second, Christian.
I'll be brief. First of all, good evening, everyone. For those who, there's a lot of familiar faces, but for those who don't know, I'm recently elected assembly member representing the 80th district here in this community. I'm taking over for former Assemblywoman Natalia Fernandez, who's now in the Senate. I'll be brief tonight. I'm actually handling a major power outage happening in Pelham Gardens affecting 8,000 people. And so, listen, I just wanted to come first say Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for the support. For those who lent it in November, for those who didn't, thank you as well. I look forward to working with each and every one of you for the betterment of this community. Just a little bit of what's happening now for those of you who are aware, right? Road that is in the process of being changed. I will be occupying that space at 2018 Williamsbridge Road. As you would know, things in government, even being in government, aren't always so smooth. And so there's a process to getting these things done. And so we've been doing that quickly and as expeditiously as possible. We will have a full staff running in that office within the next week and a half as well. For those of you who have our office phone number, the lines are still operational. We're getting back to those who may have been leaving messages over the last week or two, in addition to an email address, which is district80@nyassembly.gov, that folks can contact us as well. I am on every single social media platform. If you want to reach out to me into our office that way, we're happy to also take that information as well. Things are kind of on and moving in Albany. As you can see, the governor had her state of the state just about a week ago when she outlined an aggressive plan to address affordable housing across the state of something about, but at the same time concerned about, because I think that for every time we talk about affordable housing, which is necessary in our community, we don't do enough to talk about the existing infrastructure around affordable housing, right? And that's the overcrowded schools that we have in our community. That's the lack of funding that we're providing to the food pantries who are supporting the community members around the area. And so, you know, while we're talking about housing and it's a good thing, we want to make sure around affordable housing and putting more families into a community and making sure that we can sustain those families and support them for the long term with those wraparound services that are crucial to the success of any community. And so, you know, I look forward to meeting each and every one of you individually, sitting down with the leadership here at the board to identify the issues and the priority of the board, to see how I can be helpful, to see how I can help drive some of those issues and the priorities of this board. I will be having an in-district inauguration. We just identified the date today, which will be on Saturday, March 4th. I will make sure that the board gets a formal invitation and then it's passed on to board members. It'll be at Jacobi Hospital. Doors will open at 1 p.m. and the program will start promptly at 2 o'clock. In addition to that, I think that it's important for everyone to know that, you know, the work that you guys do here is important. And we need to make sure that we're continuing to show up. We're continuing to encourage our neighbors and to come out to the meetings, to participate in these meetings, because for so long we see the same individuals who come out, and we need to make sure that we're encouraging greater participation from folks in the community to really address the issues that need to get done. And so with that, if there's any questions, I'll take them quickly. Please excuse me if I run out right after I'm done. I'm going to head over to Pelham Gardens, and I'm actually planning a call with, and then I will see you all very shortly.
So, questions, comments? No? Thank you very much. Okay, go ahead.
The issue with Pelham Gardens, it happens quite frequently. That's where I live. I just checked. My house did not lose power, but this happens once every few months.
I was actually just at the Allerton homeowners and tenants association right before I came here, and in the middle of a conversation with Frank and Sal, there was a big flicker of the lights, and it seems to be that was the start of whatever is taking place now. But I'm in communication with Con Ed. I'm going to be jumping on a call with them now to figure out how we can address.
And I bet it's the same transformer that keeps going out.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Anybody else? I love a board that doesn't have too much questions. Thank you guys so much. God bless you all. Have a great night.
Okay,
Do you want to go back to Christian?
yeah, so. To me, meeting with the New York City Planning Department about Bronx Metro North studies. I know there was concern about parking around those stations. We've reached out to the MTA to have them come to the next meeting. I know there was a concern with the community development. So we're going to try maybe get them to a meeting too, or we could handle the issue in the transportation committee. That's probably the best place for it, but we're working on that. So also, you just want me to email you the runoff ballot and you'll see it in your email. All right, so you have there's a tie between two people. The other people will be dropped off. So the runoff ballot will be between Bernadette Ferrara and Richard Reynoso. So I'm going to send that email right now. And then let's go on. I don't know if we have any I don't think we have anybody from the Borough President's office. That's why they sent the report. Do we have anybody from Councilmember Velasquez's office, whether here or online? Okay, go ahead, microphone. So we do time the elected reps. We do time John too, but I don't know if you did that, but yeah, okay, good. Roger's on top of it.
Hi, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
I gotta turn your mic on, sorry.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Tamara. I am here from Councilmember Marjorie Velasquez. Last week we did have an oversight hearing at City Hall regarding the proliferation of unlicensed smoke shops. So as cannabis licenses are rolling out, we are working very closely with the Office of Cannabis Management as well as DCWP just to make sure that we are keeping a close eye on that. And as things progress, we will be keeping everyone in the loop. I live in this community too, and I know it's an issue, so we want to make sure that product being sold comes to our kids, because it's just not, it's unsavory to see our youth going into stores and buying things that they really shouldn't be purchasing. So there will be additional updates. If you are on my mailing list, I will be sending out another e-blast with updates accordingly. Also.
Yeah, closer to the mic.
Closer to the mic.
And your phone might make a difference too.
Okay. And then also we will be having a fire safety workshop. The tentative date with FDNY is on February 6th. However, I'm hoping to solidify that date by tomorrow afternoon. So again, I will be posting on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as our e-blast. And then also somebody also earlier had mentioned throwing away electronics with sanitation. So you're still here, right? Okay. I was like, I know you're still here. So we are actually planning an e-waste event. That way we can kind of, and arrange for those to be made, because I know they're not really picking them up anymore. Exactly, which is why we're trying to intercept that. So not a problem. I think the last one they had was in the fall at Orchard Beach. So we're hoping to have something coming up sooner. They should. So we're working on it. Yeah, no, definitely. And then really great turnout last season with it, and we're hoping to continue that, especially for our seniors and those who are just not able to dispose of those papers in their households. It's important that we offer those services to everyone. And last but not least, DCWP is providing tax preparation services. So if you need assistance with tax preparation, you can definitely give us a call. We can walk you through that process and help you get an appointment set up with DCWP. There are a couple of qualifiers, but we'd be able to support you with that. Also on Tuesdays at our office, we do have someone there for housing assistance from NIDC. So if you or someone that needs assistance filling out an application, feel free to give us a call. We can set up an appointment for you. I'm sorry? For which one? You can call our office. We're scheduling the appointments for them. For the Yeah, so for housing, you can call our office directly and you can also email us the appointments. We're doing both. So at the office, it's at 718-931-1721 and then,
So can you just, no. Right now it's for board members, so if you have a question or something, please talk after you're done. Okay, so we can move the meeting along. Microphone, please, Harry.
Please use the mic.
Are they taking appointments to discuss issues with the councilwoman?
so yeah, you can always email our office. Do you have the email address?
Yes.
Okay, so
But am I gonna talk to her? I'm gonna talk to somebody else.
either way. So you put your request in, I'll follow up with our scheduler tomorrow. If you can send an email tonight, or I can take your information before I leave.
All right.
That way we can get that in,
I got the
okay?
email. I'll email you.
Yeah, so yeah, just let me know, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, unless there's any other
I
questions?
have a question.
Jeanette?
Okay, you mentioned the stores that are illegally dispensing marijuana. What about the vendors outside of the stores that are illegally? Just for example, on White Plains Road, there is a store illegally dispensing marijuana, but within the same radius, there are at least 3 to 4 vendors, for want of another word, for dispensing, one of which sets up a table for this place.
Yeah, no,
Jeremy, her microphone.
Sorry.
It's okay. So we are working with those two because that still is a form of illegal sales. So we're working very closely, like I said. I've also been in contact with both precincts, 49th and 45th, so they are aware of the situation and we are looking to take action. It's not a brick and mortar.
Okay, all right. Unless there's any other questions, we will move on. Thank you very much. Do we have Councilmember Felice's office here, whether in person or online? Ken Gelnick, you had a question?
Yes, we do. This is Fiona Reitz, Chief of Staff to Councilmember Felice.
All right, go ahead.
We currently don't have any updates. However, our office is open Monday through Friday from 10 to 5, and on Fridays by appointment. We have immigration service on Tuesdays from 10 to 4, helping constituents with their LPR or green card application and providing consultant regarding any immigration issues. We provide housing services pertaining to any issues as eviction, applying for assistance for housing. So currently, that's all the updates we have.
Ken Gelnick, you have your hand up, Ken?
Sorry, no, accidentally.
Okay. Okay. All right. Then if there's no questions for Felice's office, do we have Councilmember Riley's office here? Yes, we do.
Good night, everyone. I'm from Councilmember Kevin Riley's office. My name is Kevin Bolt. I'm the community liaison. This week, we don't have much going on. This Saturday, the 28th, from 12 to 2, we'll be having a voters registration in 4 locations. The first being Gun Hill Road and White Plains Road, the 2 line. The second is the YMCA. The third is Bay Plaza Mall. And the fourth is Bartow Mall. That will all be taking place at the same time. We are partnering with quite a few organizations. There's some fraternities, sororities, and the NAACP in Co-op City, as well as NCNW. That's what I was looking for. as well as the NCNW. And that would be taking place Saturday again, all 4 locations. If anybody want to volunteer, you can email me at kbolt. Respond to you guys. And if you know anybody who needs to register, you can send them to us and we'll help them register to vote. And that'll be all for today.
Thank you.
Unless there's any questions for Councilmember Riley's office? I'm going to put Christian's hand down, assuming he's done. Do we have anybody from the mayor's office, comptroller's office, public advocate's office? I know we have somebody from the district attorney's office. Erica, I think you're online maybe? Or if she's still in, she was in earlier. Erica Diaz?
Thank you.
If not, we will go on to Sandy, you're trying to say something maybe? If you are, please raise your hand so I know you definitely want to say something.
No, I
Um,
did not raise my
Cortez's
hand.
office, Bowman's office, Senator Fernandez's office, State Senator Bailey's office. Is there State Senate?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here from Senator Bailey's office. Hi everyone, my name's Karina. I know you guys previously had Ronell from our office participating in
Which
our
office?
from Senator Bailey's office.
Senator Natalia Fernandez.
Senator Fernandez's office, and then we have somebody from Bailey's office online.
Okay, didn't introduce myself yet. My name is Tiffany and I'm constituent liaison for State Senator Natalia Fernandez's office. First and foremost, her communities. Let me get that up in a moment. Okay. So she just became the chair of alcoholism and substance abuse. She's also a member of Commerce, Economic Development, and Small Business, a member of Investigation, Government Oversight, Operations, member of Labor, Mental Health, Rules, and Transportation. Next announcement is her inaugurations on February 11th at 2 p.m. and the program starts at 3 p.m. It's going to be at Sydney Maritime in Throgs Neck. After that, we're going to have, before that, my bad. On February 2nd, we're going to have a fire safety class. This is a partnership with FTC and Assemblymember Reyes' office. This is in reference to we're holding this, sorry, bit nervous. We're holding this event to, encourage fire safety, of course, and Take your time. Okay, so, of course, about last year, there was a tragedy in Castle Hill where lives were lost. I believe there was 6 family members, 4 of them were lost. So we're trying to encourage fire safety as much as possible. And last but not least, the Small Business Opportunity Fund, $75 billion is going to be distributed to small businesses to help them. That's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we will turn to the,
Chair,
yeah,
there was somebody online, though.
well, I have Bailey's office. We'll go to Bailey's office first.
Hi everyone, my name is Karina. I'm from Senator Bailey's office. I do know you guys had Ronell at some point covering your community board, but I will be filling in for him now. I just wanted to let you guys know of 2 events that are coming up for our office. So we're gonna have Black Expression Through the Arts. That's a Black History Month celebration and art exhibit. That will take place at the YMCA, that is 1250 East 229th Street. That is from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on February 10th, 2023. And our second event is not on my watch. It's a Raise Your Voice event. That's for human trafficking and awareness. That's a walk and Red Sand Art Project. That is January 28th at 4101 White Plains Road. 10466. The ending point is the 47th precinct. Those are the two events that we have as of right now. If you guys need anything, you guys can always reach out to our office at 718-547-8854.
Thank you. Unless there's any questions, Senator Rivera's office.
Apologies for that, folks. Moving on. I'd like to introduce myself. Many of you may have been familiar with previous rep, Julio Herrera. He's no longer with our office. So I'll be the liaison for Community Board 11. My name is Francisco Aquino Ramirez. I'm the Community Affairs Director with State Senator Gustavo Rivera. I just have a few updates. As many of you know, the new Senate district lines came into effect. We're excited to work with Community Board 11 that we now represent. Just so you folks have an idea of how far east we expanded, we go as far east as Williamsbridge, as far north as Mace Avenue, as far south as East Tremont, and as far on the west side of the Bronx, we go as far north as Riverdale, and we are cutting off on the south on 181st. So we are happy and excited to continue working with you folks. State Senator Gustavo Rivera has been in office for over 12 years, and session has begun. He is happy to continue being the chair of the Health Committee, and he continues to be a member of the following committees: alcoholism, substance abuse, crime victims, corrections, finance, mental health, housing, and higher education. And one of his, just a few of his priorities in this legislative session, he wants to make we need to expand coverage for all New Yorkers, health coverage for all New Yorkers. And we have a few events coming up that we want to make sure that I'll send Jeremy the flyers later on tonight or tomorrow morning so it can be spread with all you folks. Tenant services, legal services, and also assistance with the senior citizen exemption, tax exemptions. I'll send the information. Our phone number is 718-933-2034 for the folks joining us online.
Another one? Yes. Sorry. The time. Okay.
Sure. So just remember, there's a runoff ballot, which is already been sent out. I don't have the 32 votes that we had before. So if you didn't vote yet, please vote. All right. Do we have any other elected officials' offices present, whether online or in person? Not? Okay. The old business is obviously the election. Is there any other old business? Is there any new business? Okay, so I guess we wait till the election, everybody votes. Everybody here in person vote? Who's still voting?
Voting.
Everybody- All right. What's that? Yeah, I mean, so if you're online, you didn't vote, you need to now. There's a second ballot that went out.
Hold on.
Bylaws require a majority. Whoever becomes chairperson needs a majority of the votes. That's why there's a runoff. So we're at 28, getting there.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I got you, Charlotte. 29. So just to entertain everybody, the first round of votes, Veronica got 7, Bernadette got
Hazel got 66.
6.
That's you, right?
I didn't hear any of that.
So, okay. Um,
Should have a drum roll.
what point you want me to call it, John?
How many are we missing?
But we should ask on the mic or. Okay, so 9:30 is cutting. So 9:30, we're gonna cut the vote. Does anybody have an issue? The other people could have walked, they could have left. So that's probably what happened. That's what it should have been. So. Yeah, I mean, people walked away, they didn't.
A few more minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Edith Shkreli, looks like she didn't vote. She is or was online. Video vote. Sign up. Gallery. Gallery.
Celebrating your sport. In the first. Six now and then. We share.
You said, is he in there? You believe that? Show it to me right. The top is ours, so if you take the top off. So hold on. All right, can you guys online hear me now? Because they won't.
I could hear you.
Yes. Round of voting, Veronica Castro received 7 votes, Bernadette Farrar received 8, Hazel Muir received 6, Richard Reynoso received 8. Is that clear enough for people online?
Yes.
All right. All right, so it's going to be 9:30. It's 30 votes. 32 before.
you the rest of my life.
Something recent. Give it back.
Let me take. 1, 2. Yeah.
What's the problem?
You're funny. He's like, what's the problem?
They voted? All right.
Jeremy, can I make a small announcement while you're doing that? Precinct Council is going to be meeting next Tuesday, and it's going to be at Morris Park. Please come, see what the council's all about. I will bring my favorite secretary.
The president of the soon-to-be council is coming.
Hello? All right. I'll get the exact tally later on, but it's clear. For Bernadette, 35% for Rich Reynoso, and 1 abstention or more. Okay, so congratulations, Bernadette. I got to get the exact results. This sucks. So yeah, motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn?
I agree.
Thanks. At 9:34 PM, the meeting ends. Hasn't ended already.
Okay.
Do you need this back? Harriet, do you need this back?